tell me about your experience with the program and sort of why you wanted to hop on board and get involved.
Yeah, so I initially heard about it from the Distinguished Young Woman of Alaska of last year, actually, and she encouraged me to try it out at the Montana level. And at first, I would say I was a little bit hesitant just because I'd never done anything like this before. There's kind of like a more performative aspect, I would say, and I wasn't necessarily used to that. But, I'm all about pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So I signed up and I tried it and I loved it. I met the most wonderful girls and the most supportive community. And I think what really drew me in is like the holistic approach of DYW. Like you're not judged on one aspect. It's not just talent, it's not just academics, it's not just one feature about yourself. It's a very holistic view of the person. And I think it's really important for, young women to develop their character as like a whole, not just like one facet at a time. So I think that really drew me in. And yeah, I really have no regrets. I am having so much fun and I'm really grateful for all the connections. I'm excited for Mobile. And I think a way to get more people involved is really just for the DYW girls to just start more conversations about it. I've already told a bunch of my junior friends that they should try it. And I think, there can be misconceptions just because, like I mentioned, there's a performative aspect. But as soon as you like embrace it and I don't know, just accept it and just try your best and employ all the confidence you have, I think it's a really fun time. And I think there's a lot of potential for DYW to grow, especially in Montana.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head for a couple of things. It's a lot of fun. You meet great people during the process. You're gaining so much more than just a title or scholarship money. So many qualities about yourself that you want to bring to your future. And you cherish and hold on to those things. And you'll look back years from now and say, I learned that from my participating in DYW and from this girl that I met 20 years ago. And those things really stick with you. I did it when I was a junior in high school. It was junior miss then. And I still think about it. It's like something that you carry with you forever. And that's just a sentiment of how big DYW is and how much of an impact that this can make on you. And so yeah, the relationships that you make, the networking that you're doing, and now that you are getting ready to come to nationals in Mobile, it's going to be even bigger than that than you're already used to. So there's so many cool qualities about the program that we want everybody to know about. And so that's sort of the whole premise behind these interviews with y'all. I just want to know what it's been like for y'all, what you have taken away from it, what you hope to take away from it on the next, level of it, and how we can do better. It's all about growth, and we want to make sure that we are staying with tradition, but also moving with the times. So, we know there's so much room for development and growth, and what better way to learn about that and how to do that than to have these conversations. So, now that you are the state rep for Montana, what are you hoping to gain personally from that? Is there anything that sort of sticks out in your mind of why this is so special for you and something that you are looking forward to doing with your newfound title?
Hmm. Yeah, so I'm from Missoula, Missoula County, and at least from what I know, none of the other DYWs of Montana have been from Montana, or as far as I know. And I think it's really cool to see, my county represented, first of all. But with this title, I don't know. I just want to bring it with me in whatever I do, whether that's community service that I'm already doing or to other clubs that I'm a part of and just letting the other girls know about this program. I really do think there's a lot of room to grow with even just our social media. I know we do have like a DYW Montana account, and I just want to post more and show how I employ like the be your best self traits throughout, just like my day-to-day things, whether it's going on a hike with my family or engaging in my schoolwork. I think just showing those like personal bits of my life can be helpful and just grow the account a little more, as well as have more engagement with the rest of Montana. And I think it's just in like the more simple things that we can grow through. And personally, I really am just excited for the network that I'll gain, especially in Mobile. I already know some of the girls who've become the state reps, like Arizona, and I know Michigan hasn't had theirs yet, but I know one of the county girls, and I'm excited to see them all and reconnect with them. And it's like a community we'll have forever. So I'd say that's what I'm personally most looking forward to.
Yeah, and the community that you're talking about, it really is going to stick with you forever. There are girls, women, older women who have done the program decades ago and are still so fond of the program and of the people that they met during their time with the local, state, or national program. And it is so cool to see that and just see that big impact because it's a sisterhood. It's gonna stick with you forever. And so will these relationships that you're making. Um, so this year specifically, we have this ongoing theme called Ripple Effect, and we're carrying that through the rest of the year until national finals. We're even using Ripple Effect imagery for our program book, and what we want people to take away from that is that one small gesture, whether it be a donation or volunteering your time for a local program, um, or just supporting overall, making a donation, and then of course our sponsors and all of that, donating money so that we can keep this program going. Um, and we just want to show that that one small, simple gesture can make such a big impact. So I've been asking all the girls for suggestions, maybe on how you think we can go about that by getting more acknowledgement of the program. We've kind of already touched on it a little bit, but this goes a little deeper with, say, volunteers, knowing that their time and efforts making this program happen don't go unnoticed, and sponsors that their money is actually going to such a really great place in building futures for girls. So I'm just curious if you have any suggestions on maybe making our program more well known. I mean, we've talked about social media. I think every girl I've talked to has suggested that, which is something I agree with, and it's part of my job on a daily basis is posting and sharing things and making graphics and making videos. And so I agree. I think that's such a great way and a great method. But how do we pull at the heartstrings and make people understand that this program is so meaningful and impactful?
Hmm. Yeah, well, like you said, social media has already been brought up a lot, so I won't go there again. But I think it's about connecting with people in our community one-on-one. Like you said, a ripple effect, it can be something super small. I currently serve as like the state president of Montana HOSA, and I know for our state leadership conference every year, my leadership team and I send out thank you notes to all of our sponsors and to our volunteers. And if we meet with someone from Congress, we make sure to send a note to them saying thank you. And I think it's about thanking the people who've already contributed their time, and it's also about taking the initiative to personally like approach them as well. Like if we're seeking more sponsorships or volunteers, it's about going into those centers or organizations and like telling your DYW story and saying, this is why this matters, this is what we need, and we would love to see you there. And I think it's like that person to person connection that can bring more people in. Um, and I think that's really important, especially at the local level. Obviously, it's going to be a bit harder at the national scale just because it's a much larger like net that you have to reach out to. But I know that all of the girls are definitely capable. And I think just having us go out into our own communities, it can be really powerful. I'm sure and I'm confident that all of the girls are very eloquent and can convey what they need to. And, I think since COVID, there's been a decrease in like the human to human interaction. It's more Zoom calls, which, in this case is the only thing that's possible, or like emails, but sending like a handwritten note or even just going in for a quick conversation can really make someone's day and make more of an impression. And I think that's something we can focus on a little more and go deeper into. I think at the Montana level, that's something we might focus on as well. And I think that's just a great way for us to move forward.
Yeah, that personal touch, that personal connection. I think everybody appreciates that. Even just writing out a handwritten note, thank you note, rather than sending something virtually. Um, it's just that little extra effort that's put in, and it really, makes people thankful and excited and understand that this is actually benefiting another human, another person. Um, so yeah, I totally agree with that. And I mean, there's tons of ways that we can do it. It's really where do we begin? So totally love all of those answers. Um, there's a lot that goes into preparing for this program, no matter the level, so local, state, or national. How do you personally prepare mentally, physically, emotionally? Are there any things that you are doing to make sure you just kind of stay humble, stay in that bubble, and really just focus on what's going to help you succeed in the program?
Yeah, so at least for the state level, it was about consistency for me. I've never like danced or done anything like that in my life, but the opening number, I was at it like every single night trying to get it until I could run it without pausing. And my mom was really helpful as well, just having her like compare like the video and myself to make sure I wasn't messing up. And it gets to a point where if you can't get it, it's really frustrating, but it's about just staying consistent. I truly think so. And, I know that all of the other girls worked really hard, and thankfully, like our opening number and our fitness routine went off without a hitch. But I think for those more like physical and literal aspects, it's about consistently like ingraining it into your body so that it becomes muscle memory. And then for like the talent and interview aspects, I think it's about seeking feedback. Um, I performed my piece in front of like my friends and family. My talent was like the violin. And it's about, what do they think we can improve on? Because, when you're playing it, you don't really know what you look like or what it sounds like from the outside. So I think feedback is really important. It helps you improve and also stay humble, I think. And for interviews, I think the same goes for that as well. Um, what you want to convey might not necessarily come across in some instances. So just rehearsing that and making sure you're hitting all of the points you want to. But I really do think it's about having a supportive community that helps you go forward. This is not something you can do by yourself. You need to have like your friends, your family really rally around you and help you. It really takes a town, I think. So I would say my community has really helped me um, at the state level, and I know they'll help me with the national level as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Support means everything, and having the right community behind you, it's unmatched. It's really you need that, and you need that. That's a life lesson, honestly, that you're bringing into distinguished young women. It's something that we all need community, no matter what stage of life we're in, no matter how old we are. Um, Community is everything, and the ones you pick matter. Um, the ones you want by your side definitely make a difference. So, yeah, there's so many qualities and aspects that you're going to learn and bring to the table too, at every level. But you're also taking stuff away from people, and you're also soaking all of that in. So, it matters. And I think that's one of the most important features, and qualities that you'll take away from this program. But a lot of girls are intimidated to even get started. They see this and they're like, "That's a pageant. I'm not a pageant girl. I don't even wear makeup. I can't do this." But it's not a pageant. It's a pageant format. There's so many qualities that you can showcase and that you already possess to do it. And so I want to make sure we're getting that message out there to the girls who are maybe afraid of trying it, maybe scared that this isn't for them. Maybe they don't have a talent and they're like, what could I do? Um, do you have any words of advice or encouragement for somebody who may be a little nervous or a little hesitant to take the leap?
Yeah, so I will say I was that girl. I was actually really intimidated because I thought it would be very pageanty. And I know there are pageant roots, but I think DYW has done a great job of, like you said, like moving with the times while keeping some tradition intact. And I really do think that even just looking at the rubric is really helpful to see like the breakdown of how you're scored. It isn't about walking or it isn't about how you do your makeup or your dress. It's about scholarship and your talent and, fitness. And those are all aspects that traditional pageants, don't have. And I think everyone does have a talent that they can showcase. I know last year, one of the girls did like a scientific presentation where she presented her research. And that's not like a traditional like act you would see, I think. But we're seeing a lot of girls embrace what makes them unique and we're seeing them excel at it. And I think it's really empowering to see young women, just show that off. And I think one way to dismantle like the perception that this is a pageant is to like share stories like that and to again just show like what the rubric really consists of. Um, and I do think those are some great ways to break past the barriers. And also just the encouragement of like, you really don't have not anything to lose, Like, what is the worst thing that could happen? Maybe you fall, but, who cares? Um, I don't know. I think it's just a really great opportunity, and I completely understand where the intimidation comes from. But as soon as you understand what the program's truly about and what the values of DYW are, I think those fears like quickly melt away. So I think just a reinforcement of those concepts is really important. And I really do hope to see more girls participate nationally as well as within Montana.
Yeah, it is so cool to see what the girls come up with talent wise. I mean, most majority we're seeing dancing, singing, um, gymnastics even, but we've had karate, we've had painters, and again, the science experiments research presentation, that's so cool and something that will set her apart from the other competition. And it's something that many aren't even going to consider a talent. So it's so cool to see what is come up with for these different categories. But again, there's also interview and self-expression on stage. How can you talk in front of people? And then of course the fitness routine that can be intimidating on its own if you're not athletic or if you don't like to work out. But it's all about pushing yourself past what you think you can do. And I've said in so many of these conversations, you can do hard things. And this is a way to prove that. So I love seeing the girls push themselves and really fight against the negative talk in your head. I've been there, I went through it too. And I cried in my interview, but guess what? I won that category. I cried in the middle of it. It's crazy. And then on stage on self-expression, I bombed it. I bombed it. I didn't even finish what I was gonna say and I walked away. So there's so many different things that can happen. And I'm laughing about it now. It was so important in the moment. It really was. But now it's just like I was worried for nothing. I could have done so much better had I not been so nervous. So there are, and now look at me now. I'm working at the national office for DYW. So it's all a very full circle moment, and it's very cool to see how y'all are overcoming the intimidation part of it or the nerves part of it because I've been there. I understand. And I wish I could have done that myself, but it's just one of those things that you go through, you look back on it, and you realize it wasn't that big of a deal in the first place, which is a lesson we can learn about so many different things in life, I think. So it's very cool to see how all of you do that. and overcome it. But that I don't want to take too much more of your time. I do want to ask, do you have any plans for college yet or a major in mind? Or are we still thinking about it?
Yeah, so college, still not sure. We'll see who takes me. I think I know what I want to major in though, wherever I go, and I want to really have an interdisciplinary post-secondary education. So I'd like to study neuroscience as well as public health, but also look at government, because I think, they really seem like opposite sides of the spectrum, but it's really powerful when they go hand in hand. Research and healthcare are very important to our society, and then policy is what really brings that forward and brings it to the public. So I think that's what I want to focus on in the future. And during college, I do hope to help out with DYW as well at like my state level and my local levels and to just grow the program. But we'll see where I end up. I hope to be at one of the coasts by the ocean, but we'll see what works out there.
Well, very good. We can't wait to see what happens, what you decide on, and where you end up. I think that's all my questions. Do you have anything that you want to add or that we missed that you want to say to anybody?
Mm, I don't think so, but thank you so much for this time. I'm really excited to meet all the girls in Mobile and to see you in person as well.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. We can't wait. 2 weeks, it'll be here before we know it. It'll be hard and challenging again, but you can do it. It's totally, so much fun and so many fun relationships that you'll build. But okay, yeah, if you have any photos or videos of your time at local or state, send them my way. I'm gonna try to use those over the top of this interview, this conversation, so that we have some more to look at, some visual aspects and elements. If you don't, no problem. I'll just go stalk the Facebook page and see what I can scrounge up. But other than that, that is all I have for you, Faith. So thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're at school, so wanted to go ahead and get you out of there or get you off of here and go back. But I appreciate it. And again, if you have any of those photos or videos, just send them to my email, okay?
All right. Thank you so much. Have
You're
a great
welcome.
day.
Bye.
Bye.